I'm going to do my best to get through the alt-right pipeline and explain it to you in just a couple of minutes and hopefully provide you with a clearer understanding or just what it is in general. The alt-right pipeline can best be described as the indoctrination of individuals or radicalization of individuals into alt-right beliefs through the continued consumption of media online. And by alt-right beliefs, I mean white supremacy, nativism, and anti-Semitism. The radicalization of many does not begin with media that is very upfront in the message it is trying to portray. Oftentimes, it is masked as something else. This is due to the fact that it is hard to gather in people who believe in things like white supremacy, anti-Semitism, and nativism. Once an individual has been exposed to this type of media, the next step is for them to be exposed to more like it. So there's an increase in consumption of that type of media. It could be either on their own or it could be accomplished independently from them via algorithms. If a person were to interact with one video online, there's a good chance that whatever site they're on has an algorithm that picked up on it, which will push more content like that into their view, which will lead to more interactions with that type of media, which will influence their algorithm further, leading this person to a loop of consuming more videos and then getting more videos like it recommended to them. Getting trapped in a content loop, or rather echo chamber, is the main driving factor of the pipeline, because if someone is only consuming alt-right content, that is going to be the worldview. I know some of you may disagree with this, but it is important to remember how influential the internet is to our lives. It has become so integrated into our society that almost everyone you meet carries a smartphone. Many people don't just live with phones, but rather live on it now. And those who do are the ones who are most likely to fall victim to the pipeline, which is many people right now. As mentioned earlier, the type of content the alt-right produces will portray itself as something that it isn't. Because the ideologies are rooted in hate, it can turn many people away quickly. So the alt-right will sometimes portray its ideas as something it isn't: love. Instead of saying you should hate this group of people because we're better, they'll say this group of people is dangerous, so if you love your family, you'll keep them away. Or instead of saying they hate women, they will say women will cheat on you and move on about their day, so if you love yourself, you should distrust them. Feigning love isn't the only way the alt-right makes their ideologies more palatable. They also use memes. The memes the alt-right produces target minorities, women, and whoever is the new face of progressivism that week in a provocative and trollish manner. They target anyone who doesn't align with their beliefs. These memes provide a sense of comfortableness to many because they are chalked up to just jokes. But the more comfortable a person becomes with these memes, the more extreme they get, to the point where the mask is lifted and is obviously just hate. Slurs, insults, and calls for death are prominent in them. But that applies to alt-right media in general. Once a person reaches the endpoint of radicalization, the hate is free and expressed. It is no longer hidden and just said to them point blank. This can best be seen by internet personalities and their political commentary online. People like Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly, and Ben Shapiro have all amassed large followings online. Their content is the type you see consumed by people who have fully been radicalized. Once they are watching these types of political commentators, this is what you call the deep end, because these types of commentators are found deep in the echo chamber. While yes, you see them debate online against college students and many others, it is not really a debate if the person debating has already decided they will never change their mind beforehand. After talking about how the alt-right pipeline functions, it is important to talk about the people who are targeted by it. Typically, it is young men who feel disenfranchised. They don't have to be white, they just have to feel like society owes them something they were robbed of. They are also lonely and chronically online. But it isn't just them. Young boys are a big target too. Being so young, they're very impressionable, meaning that they oftentimes can't critically process what they see. So they are most likely to fall victim to this because they don't know what is right from wrong. They're young and underdeveloped, and hate works best when it is taught early. But besides young men and boys, it is important to remember that the pipeline can virtually affect anyone. It has no preferences as to who adopts its ideologies. The alt-right is a group that is trying its hardest to spread its messages everywhere and ideologies everywhere every single day. The dangers of young men and young boys who become obsessed with alt-right ideologies from such a young age is that it can lead them down a dangerous path. For example, it can lead them down to terroristic attacks like we have seen in the past with young men who oftentimes feel like they have to do something in the names of their newfound ideologies. To conclude this video, I'm going to talk to you guys, not really using a script, straight on my brain, into the microphone, lower quality, but more authenticity, alright? I made this video because talking about the alt-right pipeline is important, especially in the political climate we're in, with ever-growing overreach of right-wing ideologies in our government. And a lot of you are probably going to disagree with me on that, and that's whatever. I'm kind of used to it, right? I don't like our current president. But anyways, that's going off topic. What I really want to say is I made this video so you, the viewer, can acknowledge and reflect on the content you're consuming. Because as much as you like it or not, it is going to influence you. So I believe you have a duty to be more conscientious of the stuff you're watching. And I'm going to do the same. Otherwise, I'd be a hypocrite. But anyways, I want you to ask yourself 2 questions that I'm going to make up in the next 3 to 5 seconds. What am I really watching? And how much power does it have over me? Thank you.